sure you work on that and have it for you tomorrow. There you go. You bet. All right. Anyone else online for public comment? Seeing no hand raised, I'll assume not. So we'll move into ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance 1181, one-way streets and stop intersections. We had accidentally advertised this twice. Second time should have been adopting it. So we're going to adopt it tonight. So looking for consideration to adopt the amendment for the one-way streets and stop intersections to include Holland Square and Juniata Street.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Shaver.
Second.
Second by Mr. Kaag. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. On to Borough Manager's report.
Unfortunately, I have two action items for you, but we needed to get them in. So the first action item is consideration of hiring an engineer to assist with the borough with the DEP mandated lead and copper inventory. That's kind of what we touched on last week during the meeting. KT is here. If anybody has any questions in the packet, there was two of the engineers that we talked to are the water companies that offered their assistance. The third one did not get back to us with numbers in time. So as you can see, the 120 water, they're very knowledgeable with what they do. The problem is they're computer kids and they see the dollar signs. That one was, I think, 20 grand to sign into the program for the first year. And then it was 15 grand a year after that. Tech Engineering offered us 16 grand to sign on with them for the first year and to get everything up and loaded and running. And after that, it was just basically per diem as they worked. That's what they collected on. And that was the best one that we thought. And the people Carrie talked to, nice young lady. They're very knowledgeable. Wyatt Messing's actually using them next door. And this may not even make that price, but we think that this is the best option to go with. And again, this covers us with DEP, where we have to be compliant by, or show that we're getting compliant by October of this year.
Well, let's get it done in January then. Does anybody have any questions on either proposal that we have? KT, anything to add?
No, I reached out. I went to a couple of them people. Lineaweaver Water Authority is not using them, but they spoke very highly of them. The ladies came in originally at 17.5 and we explained to them. They actually came back at 16 then. Mission is extremely happy with them, so, and they're saying they can get it done and that's where we need to be in. And the other nice thing is the kids, the H2 water, what we want to call them, if you didn't continue with the services, they kept all the information. You had your hard documents, but you couldn't do nothing. Where Tech, when they're done, if we say, I'm done, I can't, we can still go in there, we can still change, we can add to it. That is our information, that is our material.
So we're recommending of going with Tech.
Yep. Thank you for that, KT.
Thanks. Does anybody have any questions on that? Otherwise, I guess at this point, we'd be looking for approval to consider hiring Tech Engineering to assess the borough with DEP mandated lead and copper inventory in an amount not to exceed $16,000. That'd be the correct.
For the initial, yes.
Yeah, for the initial.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Ms. Drobnick. Second by Ms. Bauer. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Next action item is consideration of allowing the borough manager to execute the cooperative purchasing agreement with the county and state for the 2024-2025 road salt bids. We do this every year when we, through CELG, it's the cooperative purchasing program. It gets us the better rates. And we need the counties and the states because, I mean, the last couple of years, we didn't really need it, but it's there that when we do need it, because there was one year we maxed out with whatever salt that we could take. So we do need both of them.
We're actually using salt this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions on that action item? Otherwise, looking for approval.
Don't move.
Motion made by Mr. Kaag,
Second.
second by Mr. Shaver. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
That is all I have.
All right. Considering that there's nothing else to accept from your report, we can move on to the treasurer's report. Jeanette, you have some transfer amendments you're looking for the budget.
Last year, I closed out December and noticed that, sanitation fund, was in the negative, almost $40,000. That was due to the, DEP 902 recycling grant not being received last year. So waiting for that, should be here in a matter of weeks. It's $227,280. We're expecting, so, in order to close out the books with the sanitation, not have a negative balance, I've got to transfer $40,000. I like to have that last by council so that we can make it official. It was not in the budget. Also, the recreation allocation, budgeted 103,000 to be transferred over to recreation, and we gone over that by 44,000 to 147,000. So also want that to be the case.
So they needed an extra 44,000?
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions on the proposed budget transfer amendments? Seeing none, looking for approval. Motion made by Mr. Wert. Second by Ms. Drobnick. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, I'll open the floor back up for a second round of public comment. Jimmy, got anything else?
I just make you aware of concern about the lead and copper. When I did the sewer on the rental property, I put down 30 some years ago. The plumber was surprised because it was lead pipe. All the way here. In the lead pipe. And I wonder if it was.
We'll find out.
Okay, we're about to find out.
I think I ran into 2 late goosenecks in my years here.
It's very, are you going, if I understand your last meeting, you're going to be replacing the water line on Sixth Avenue, between Penn Avenue and Franklin Street?
That,
They actually put in
It's-
some grant for that,
Yeah, we're looking for a grant. That's
and they're going to do that.
Oh,
from
a
there.
a little
Yeah,
further
that's-
down the way.
Gas hookup,
Yeah, of course.
3 years since repaving of the street.
That's a good point. Yeah.
yeah, we have, with any repaving projects that we have planned out, we always give UGI a notice ahead of time. Now, whether they stay up with it, I mean, they've got other areas that they cover too, but we try to at least work with that because we don't want it dug up multiple times.
Yep.
The whole instance with Penn Avenue is because of polymers.
About. If there's nothing else for public comment, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Shaver,
Seconded.
second by Ms. Leiendecker. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Patrick, Dean, Ryan, Phil, I need to speak with you privately, then after the meeting's done before you leave.
Gotcha. Motion carries. Thanks, everyone.
You.
Thank you.
In here or my office?
Office.